Hey everybody, Tall Family Films here. Today we're going to show you how to make the cowl on your car go from looking like this to this, and it's pretty easy to do. Let's get started. So this gray plastic piece that's between your windshield and the hood, it's called the cowl. I had to look that up too, so don't feel bad. But it gets sun faded on many cars, and it certainly did here on my truck. But notice here on the right, it looks a lot darker. And I've tried all kinds of silicone sprays, tire shines, everything that is supposed to bring back the color of faded plastic, but nothing actually brought back the color, at least not in any kind of lasting effect. It would be gone in about 2 days, or certainly past the first car wash. So here I am applying a product called Armor Shield, and this is made by a company called Avalon King. Everything that you're seeing here about it comes in the kit with it, and there'll be a link to it in the description to show you how to order it as well. But we put this kind of sparingly on this cloth. It's not cheap, you'll find that out, but there's a way you can get a discount by ordering it through the link that I provide. And as you apply this to the cloth and then onto the sponge, you just simply rub it into the plastic. So here we go. As we cross the 1 week mark, notice how the water beads up on the part that's been coated. And here it has not been coated. It's kind of just a flat, wet spots, but definitely a huge difference where the car has been coated. And here we are on day 12, and you can still see there's a difference between the two. It's not as distinct as it once was, but it's certainly darker than any other product I've used in the past that's lasted this long. So now that you've seen it in person, let's talk about how to do it properly. We need to take off the cowl. There's 2 nuts underneath the caps on the windshield wipers. I suggest you use a trim removal tool set like this one. There'll be a link to it in the description. This is plastic against plastic, so it doesn't scratch anything, rather than using a screwdriver where if you slip, you're going to either scratch the plastic or the metal on the windshield wiper itself. You're going to need a ratchet, and you're also going to need one 14mm socket for the windshield wipers. I'm using an electric ratchet from Milwaukee. This is one of my absolute favorite tools. Not the cheapest, but I've had it for years and it's extremely effective. It saves me a ton of time on a ton of projects. Notice I slipped right there pulling that cap off, and I didn't scratch anything because the tools that I'm using are plastic. And then the windshield wipers take a little bit of manipulating. They've been on for a long time. Kind of have to just shake them, but there is nothing else that holds them on. Just give them a little tap. A couple of different directions here, and the windshield wipers will free from the car. I promise. Step 2 is under the hood. There's a little rubber seal strip that goes across the entire front of the cowl. I'm using a metal trim removal tool here because I needed more leverage, but it hooks right into the clips, so there's no ability for it to slip and scratch anything. Plus, I'm under the hood. If I scratched anything here, it's not really going to show. When the strip comes off, note that it will not go back on the wrong way, so you'll know if you have it going back on correctly. It's kind of keyed that way. So now it's just down to a few clips, plastic clips. There's one on the driver's side. There's an identical one on the passenger side that you'll see in just a second here. Then there's some clips that go along the windshield, and you're literally just pulling those clips straight up. Sometimes the clips get stuck in the brackets, and sometimes they come off with the cowl, but if they get stuck in the brackets, you can pull them out later. And you will need to pull them out. You cannot reinsert the cowl if the clips are stuck in the brackets, and you'll see why that is. It's pretty obvious. Remember, you're working with brittle plastics here, so the less patience you have with it, the more you're going to break, so take your time. The windshield wiper fluid tubes will disconnect. I use the same tool to do that. So here we are. We finally have the cowls removed, and we can start cleaning them up. So, like we discussed, everything that you're going to need to apply this comes with it. So they give you a bottle of Armor Shield, and a little block that has a soft sponge on one side and it's hard on the other. You want to apply the cloth to the soft sponge side, and then just take a few drops of Armor Shield and apply it to the cloth. Try not to waste it like I just did there. Every drop is expensive, but a little bit does go a long way. The reason I removed the cowls off the car is because there's little crevices you just can't really cover well if you don't have it off the car. So try to cover it in both directions. First go kind of north-south and then go east-west. Make sure you get everything covered really well. If you have a grill like this, you're going to need a Q-tip to really get in there. It works really well though if you use this method. So depending on the temperature, the ambient temperature outside will determine how long you let this sit there. Instructions are included on the box, but they give you this nice microfiber towel so that you can wipe off the excess, and kind of like polishing a car, you put it on, you let it sit for a few minutes, and then you wipe it off, and that's really all there is to it. And then you get to enjoy a nice dark cowl for quite some time. So if this video helped you, you could really help me by subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.